poetry club time. Okay, why you like poetry?
I really enjoy it because I feel like there could be like a simple poem that has very much like a very deep meaning, and even like a simple poem. I really do like how poems are written freely almost and like are very aesthetic in a way.
Aesthetic, yeah.
And
that's the right word to use.
Yeah, I really like just the.
I thought I packed my book last night, but I guess I'm gonna have to.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
But yeah, I just like the way how creative even some poems can be and stuff.
Yeah, creativity, aesthetic
nature. You can bring out a lot of your creativity.
Definitely, poem is one of the most creative forms of art out there. So, the question asked is why you like poems. Oh, you hate poems, maybe. So who knows? You don't have to like it, right? So Esther, your turn.
I really like poems because, well, I just like enjoy reading and memorizing.
Oh,
I like memorizing poems.
You actually like memorizing it? Huh?
Yeah, and
oh wow.
You like I didn't know that.
Yeah, me neither. I'm not very good at it, but
what have you memorized?
No.
Oh, you're memorizing the Sonnet 18.
You did? Okay, we're gonna have you.
I memorize all of it.
Okay.
I only do like less now.
Okay. So you like it, basically, huh?
But I enjoy the emotion and I just enjoy how poems are written.
That's a very right way to express emotion, feelings, basically, right? So, yeah. Elijah, why you like poems? Or why you hate poems?
Well, I wouldn't say I hate poems because I don't, but
okay.
I mean, I'm trying to just think of something else that no one else said because I don't want to just repeat what I was saying. But
sure.
just kind of like Naomi said, just creativeness of poems and just very freestyle, kind of like Noah, like we went over last time we were doing it. That you don't really like. You can make there's certain like even grammatical mistakes you can make and. Just how you can really be yourself when you do it, like not kind of different from like being assigned an essay or civic writing. It's just kind of something that it just kind of doesn't seem like something. It's something you should learn, but it doesn't seem like something someone would want to do if they don't want to do it. Like it seems like something you would only want to do if you really enjoy it, because the poems is all about expressing really your kind of different emotions, and if you don't like enjoy poetry in that way, that you can't really write poems. I mean, that's only in the context of writing poems, but yeah.
Okay, Noah. Bullet points. Yeah.
Well, I guess along the similar lines to what the others were saying, I think poetry is just a very clear portal into the power of words and expression. So it's to narrow that in more, it's not particularly in the sense that words have power when they are spoken, which can happen very often in like in a family circle or something, like where you can speak words of life or death. Not particularly on that side of the power that words have, but more in the sense that in a non-humanistic or prideful way, it really reveals the complexity and profundity even of the human soul. Poetry does. Not only in what is written, but also, if not more importantly, how it is interpreted by the reader. There's two very interesting and very obvious things that take place in the writing and reading of poetry. Is the expression and interpretation. So, I think when...
Because there's dynamic going on, right? So,
yeah. There's a lot that can be packed into a few words. And there's very simple things that can be spread out into many. And poetry tends to more often do the former. But there is, it's really something hard to express, I think, with poetry. But that's why people take it almost very, and sometimes it's good, but sometimes it's bad to take it in a very loose manner that it can be interpreted.
Here's
in a
your
way.
essay. Combine all the discussion, you're gonna write why I like poetry or why I hate poetry. About that. Write a short essay. What do you think? Nobody's impressed with my essay.
I already have another essay assignment.
Yeah,
From
you already have one.
Yeah, you told me to write about all.
Okay, that's for the girls. You don't need to write it down much. So. Okay. Anyway, let's move on with some reading poems because I don't think I give you guys an essay to write, right? So
Yeah, no, you haven't done it.
we didn't give you an essay to write, right? So
No.
yeah. Okay. I like for you guys to write essays. Don't have to be good in the beginning, but we can.
Yeah, I definitely work on my essay writing.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I've done a few.
Great. Then let's move on with that. Okay. Hey, Noah, where we were last time?
We're on Anne Bradstreet.
Where is that?
That is page 75.
Oh, wow, that's
Wait,
pretty good.
what?
Page 75.
That was weird.
We kind of went all over the place. I'm starting off from where Noah and Lynn and I were.
Oh, 75?
Yep.
That's pretty old poems, man. So, wow.
I like Anne Bradstreet.
Is that right? You like them read all her poems. Today we're going to finish Anne Bradstreet. Okay, so you read the first one called The Author to Her Book. Okay, Naomi, you started with
Do you want me to read the introduction first?
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna read the introduction.
Okay.
I like to read the introduction, so to know them a little bit. Anne Bradstreet, born in Northampton, England. Anne Bradstreet, 1612 to 1672. Never attended school, but did receive excellent education from her father, Thomas Dudley, steward to the Earl of Lincoln. I think we read this. And private tutors. When she was 18, she immigrated to America. Wow. With her parents. Can you believe that? That's a long time ago, man.
What's this?
So she died in 1672. Or 1612. That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
And her husband, Simon Bradstreet. For many years, they endured the arduous condition typical for the struggling colony. Southern in Massachusetts, both her husband and the father eventually became colonial governors. Okay. Annie gave birth to 8 children. The responsibility of raising a large family as well as the traditional socially limited position of women made writing poetry difficult. Can you imagine that? That's a long time. That's a Jing Li's time, you know. In 1650, a collection of her verse, 10 Muse, lately sprung up in America, was compiled and published in London without her knowledge. It was the first book of poetry ever published by an American. Okay, be proud of her, okay? And as a result, Bradstreet is often considered the first poet of the New World. Posthumous, volume appeared with her corrections and additions, several poems, 1678. A fire in 1666 destroyed her home, her library, and many unpublished manuscripts. What a pity. Okay. The first one, the author to her book. Read by Naomi Pinson.
Okay, please help me if I do not pronounce the word right.
Yeah, let him know I help you.
Thou ill-formed offspring of my feeble brain, who after birth didst by my side remain, till snatched from thy thence, what is that?
From thence.
From thence by friends less wise than true, who thee abroad exposed to public view, made thee in rags halting to if
To the press to judge.
To the press to
Trudge.
judge.
The
Sorry,
short
trudge.
form of the
where her errors were not listened. Lessened. All may judge. At thy return, my blushing was not small, my rambling brat, in print should mother call. I cast thee by as one unfit for light. The visage was so irksome
Yeah.
in my sight. Yet being mine own, at length affection.
A length, you know what it
At
means?
length affection. What?
A length is a long period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I just lost my spot. Thy blemishes amend, so if I could. I washed thy face, but more defects I saw. And rubbing off a spot so made a flaw. I stretched thy joints to make thee even feet, yet still thou runnest more hobbling than is meet. And better dressed to trim thee was my mind, but not have homespun clothes. House I find.
Basically, in there she's saying, but not save homespun cloth in the house I find. She's like shortening it in a way.
So it's
it's
actually said by Ayeth.
No. No, like it kind of like speeds, when she does that, it kind of speeds it up. So listen, if I would read it, I would be like, but not save homespun cloth in the house I find. So like you see me kind of
so
like
you
pace
said
really
that-
quickly
okay,
by it. Like,
At the house I
yeah.
find. Okay.
No, not I, in the house. Like, it sounds funny.
At the house.
But you have to know what she's actually saying to be able to pronounce it well. You're basically...
Why? So she does that so
Just
to
like
speed up.
in the house.
I know, but I'm saying, why would someone do that?
Because it has something to do with the meter on which the poem is progressing and how it's being read. It has something to do with the syllables that are used. It's like a shortening.
I think it's also a writing style in those days. They do shorthand and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay. In this array, mongest vulgars mayest thou.
Because you did there too, Naomi. In this array, amongst vulgars, like amongst. But you just took care of the A.
Oh, okay. In critics' hands beware thou dost not come, and take thy way where yet thou art not known. If for thy father asked, say thou hast none. And for thy mother, she alas is poor, which caused her thus to send thee out of the door.
That's funny.
Terrible. So, Noah, any comments on the poem?
You guys understand what she was doing there?
Let me read first, then we do it again. Okay, so maybe I need to understand this poem myself. Sorry.
Maybe someone who can read it more fluently. Like
Yeah, I'll
Can
try.
read it again,
I will
just-
try.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Sorry.
I didn't know if he was reading it. I didn't know what he was doing.
Okay. Thy ill-formed offspring, my feeble brain, who after birth does my side remain, till snatched from them by friends less wise than true, who they brought exposed to public view, made in rags hunting to the press to charge, where errors were not listened or made judge. And thine return my blushing was not small. My rubbling brand in print should mother call. I can see but as one unfit for light. The visage was so irksome in my sight. Yet being my own length fashion would, thine blemishes amend, if so I could. I washed thine fate, but more defects I saw. A rubbing off was far still made a flaw. I stretched thine joint to make thee even fate, yet still thou runnest more hobbling than is meet, as is meet. In better dress to train thee with my mind, but none saving homespun clothes in the house I find. In this arrays, malice vulgars made so roam. In critics' hands beware thou does not come. And take thy way where ye thou art not known. If for thine father asked, see thou hadst not. And for thy mother, she alas is poor, which caused her thus to send thee out the door. Wow, that's what.
So is that like her growing up?
Yeah, I was saying for
No. Look at the title of the book. Look at the title of this poem.
the author to the
This must be
The author to her book. She's talking about her book.
the composition.
She's using like an example of raising a child, which she had very much experience with, if you recall the short biography there. As the book is if she's raising a child, which in every line you can see there's a very clear and very creative parallel to that in her book.
Yeah. Respond. Finish your comments.
Oh, I mean,
We want to
in terms of
read with understanding. It doesn't make it. Is it making sense now?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So she goes through different stages, actions. Evidently, the friend took her poem, published secretly. That's what she was talking about here.
So let me ask you a question. Does she seem confident in herself or somewhat critical of herself?
Critical.
What do you guys think?
I was thinking
Critical or confident?
Or both.
Yeah, she seems. But
Like, just read the first line of this poem.
yeah.
Thou ill-formed offspring of my feeble brain. So she's obviously pretty critical of herself. Who after birth didst by my side remain. So basically all the works that she's presenting in this book, which obviously we don't have her full book here, just excerpts of different poems. But she said when she wrote these things that they were not shared. They were kind of more like almost personal journal entries, these poems were. They're very personal and intimate to her. Till snatched from thence by friends, less wise than true. So these things people saw as actually great works of art, very good poems. And so they wanted to, obviously as it says here, publish these things. That she wanted these things, her friends wanted these things to be published. Less wise than true. I think there was like a resolve there where while she didn't see it as particularly, maybe it wasn't carried out in the wisest manner, maybe by their importunity towards her publishing these poems, she knew that it probably is best that it was done anyways, is what she's kind of saying there.
There, the old word comes in. Why the true in this is not more than meaning.
Yeah.
It's more of affection that we handling things. Make sense here? Yeah. They want to be true in this light, authentic rather means, so their affection towards her poem, herself, authentic. So.
Right. And then it continues, she basically is talking about the process in which when her poems were brought by her friends to be both edited and put into the process of publication. She says here, who thee abroad exposed to public view. So basically they're taken out from her own possession and, like I said, going toward or through the process of publication, made thee in rags. So they were made by her, she sees herself as obviously as she was, just a very busy or poor person, I guess. And again, that's another sort of hint towards her
If you look at the child,
criticism towards herself.
is a boy or a girl? She was typifying here.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
If she considered the book or the poem,
Oh, a boy or a girl?
oh, boy, girl, she gave birth to, and she had to take care of it, right? So that's her parable, basically. Poem with her whole, she treated her poem. So yeah, yeah. Please move on.
Okay. So, as part of this process, it was taken to where it was going to be edited. So people were going to, at some point, look over her errors, maybe more in a, say, grammatical or in terms of expression. So, to the press, it trudged, where errors were not lessened, all may judge. So, it's kind of an interesting statement. It may... You guys know what she's saying when she says, all may judge, right? Basically, you're about to read this book, so you're going to be the judge of whether there's still errors or not.
Evidently, they were using her manuscript to publish the printed book, right? And when people print those days, do you think they be making no errors or add more errors? You know, when you write something like that, then print it to the paper, certain people make mistakes, right? So evidently, for printing the first copy of her book, from manuscript to the real copy, more error added because people made mistakes in the printing process. That's what it means.
So for the next several lines, imagine even visually her manuscripts being taken away from her, taken to an office in which they were more like almost marked down by, well, this is wrong, this needs to be changed, and they have a lot of markings on these manuscripts, and they're brought back to her, and she's really embarrassed to see how many mistakes she had made.
I feel like I do that a lot.
And
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
That's
And,
author's common experience, I guess.
so that's why she says there, at thy return, my blushing was not small. My rambling brat in print should mother call. I cast thee by as one unfit for light. So again, she's being really critical of herself in her poems. The visage, or visage, or however you say that, was so irksome in my sight.
What does irksome mean?
So it really irritated her to see her mistakes and even her poems in general. She was, again, just being pretty critical. Yet being mine own, at length affection would thy blemishes amend, if so I could. So she saw hope in her poetry. She knew there was some good in it, so she's going to do her best to fix it.
That's interesting. We have Chinese have a saying like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, commonly used. They usually are talking about own poems like that. Okay, 必受之罪 means you like the things you made just because you made it, right? It's not really a good thing. You know, in the public eye, it's pretty bad, shabby.
Yeah.
But because you made it, you like it.
You're gonna do your best,
You
yeah.
cherish it. So.
But then it kind of goes downhill again, because next she says, I washed thy face, but more defects I saw. And rubbing off a spot still made a flaw. So even the revision of her poetry still was just introducing more problems in her eyes.
Yeah.
And she kind of goes on with the same...
To struggle with the process, right?
Yeah.
So if she is a good poet, good author, she has to struggle. What about us? We're going to struggle, right? So thinking about, and she wrote a poem about it, by the way. So she was comparing, I think, as a young girl. You know, in those days, presented a young lady to the public eye, take a lot of education, a lot of polishing before to society. You know the culture, right? Those days. So, so she was trying to, as a mother, take care of a young girl, go to society. She just tried to make sure she's flawless. I think that's more a mother toward the girl cares those days.
Why? What makes you think that? Like it was more of a female than a male.
It's because those days the custom as Elizabeth Day, those are social customs, you know. So.
To do what? No.
To take care of a girl?
Yeah, to present to society. You had
To present,
educate
like,
them.
taking care of a girl to other people, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, to
Okay.
present to society.
Oh, actually,
yeah.
how about this?
Yeah.
In reading what we've read so far about her poetry and about her life, is there any connection with the homework that Soon gave us to Anne Bradstreet?
Well, there you go.
What?
Which homework I'm talking about?
That's exactly what they need to figure out.
To what?
What connection is there between Anne Bradstreet and the homework
That's
that Soon
very
gave
good
us?
Oh, the
because at the
essay?
same time, yeah.
What you like about poetry?
Oh, we're talking about history.
Yeah.
Oh, history.
What period I want you guys to look at? Besides Puritan, reading Puritan.
No, actually, that's what it is.
Okay.
Anne Bradstreet was Puritan.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Puritan.
she's
She's a
moved with the
Puritan.
Puritan colony. She
Oh,
married
that's
a
right.
Puritan man.
Oh, that's right. Look at
Yeah.
that. Look at that. There you go. There's a linkage there.
So yeah, this is actually very interestingly, it's a good, an extremely good look into the
Yeah.
Puritan family.
Let me give you a picture more so bring more context to this. Elizabethan time, you read novels like, what is it called, Pride, what is it?
Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah, exactly. Those times, a young lady is not like a modern day. See, being you can go to school, hang around with friends, boys, whatever, family.
Yeah.
In those the upper class, especially, which is the evidence lady have a governors, right? They're noble people basically those days. They're not commoners basically. They're a class section. Now, before a young girl go to they call the society, present to society. If you read the War and Peace, you will know Natasha, the key heroine in that novel, go through the process, right? So they're going to the mother going to take whoever introduced her to society, which in this case parallel to the author said, I'm going to have my poem be published for the public to see. It's parallel to her as a mom in those age has a young girl, her own, to present it to society. You wanted her
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
to be flawless, without blemish, everything being well, that's my point,
Yeah.
prepared. So that's how she feel. It's as if her own daughter present to society, not dressed well, not carry herself well, so bring discomfort. So that's a context. Now, you can study that. That's Elizabethan culture called the aristocratic culture of the bed. So anyway, that's a culture those days. So yeah. Is that making sense to you? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Go ahead.
Where was I?
I don't know.
I guess yeah. She
You
continues
wash
that.
thine face.
I stretch thy joints to make thee even feet, yet still thou runnest more hobbling than is meet. So what does that mean? Basically, she's trying to just, if her poetry was a child, then she's trying to basically bring that child to almost a socially acceptable state, as Emmanuel is saying.
Yeah.
So even so, in trying to make it to where she or he, whoever the child is, comes to, I say in terms of walking, like in a more modest state, yet still thou runnest more hobbling than is meet. So you still hobble more than is acceptable. So you're not perfect, even though I'm trying to make you perfect.
Yeah. You guys go to dancing classes, right? You know where that tradition came from. That tradition came from here. Yeah.
Close.
Yeah, we're
Well,
Puritans actually outlawed a lot of dancing.
they don't go to all that, but there's a
formal
culture
stuff.
there. So.
Yeah, well, they made sure that when dancing took place, there's a very distinct separation between the male and female because they were
Puritans,
really
yeah. True. I guess Puritans are Puritans.
Yep, Puritans are Puritans. In better dress to trim thee was my mind, but not save homespun cloth in the house I find. So here, it's kind of just continuing over her attempt to revise her poems as was suggested by her friends for publication, but obviously she's having a difficult time doing that. She sees no possibility of satisfaction on her part of her poetry being perfect. In this array, amongst bulgars, mayst thou roam. So, basically, it kind of looks like she says in that one sentence there, which is a line all by itself, just saying, well, this is as good as you're going to get, so now you're going to have to go anyways. In this array, which is basically what you're wearing, amongst bulgars, which is the world or those who are going to be reading my poetry, mayst thou roam. So basically this is as good as I'm going to get you, so you're ready to go. In critics' hands beware thou dost not come, and take thy way where yet thou art not known. In those two lines, I think, let's see, what's the best way to explain this?
Yeah, just basically tell the critics, you're not coming to the party.
Yeah.
Don't criticize us, because we wreck or in line with the vulgar poetry, whatever, so not really up.
Yeah, basically she's warning her book, as if it was still a child, to not let... She's almost telling her book not to be discouraged by what critics say, and make sure that even though I'm hesitant about your perfection, that you still reach the eyes and ears of others who would desire to read you. Don't let critics stop you on what they say. If for thy father asks, say thou hast none. So obviously, this is a kind of just we're still using this as throughout the rest, as with the rest of the poem. This child metaphor. There is no father because there is obviously no second person that helped her to write these poems. As for thy mother, she wants to get to this point where she's going to talk about herself. As for thy mother, she alas is poor. So that's pretty straightforward. Which caused her thus to send thee out of the door. So with those two last lines, I want to hear what you guys think about that. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Those last two lines. Read the last two lines.
Who? Me?
All of you, yeah. What do you think she's saying there? It's kind of funny.
Now I put it in the context of the book, I actually know what it is. Like what it is meaning.
So if she is poor, why would that cause her to send the book out of the door?
To send it out for people to see it, or I still don't really understand where she send it out to.
Well, when you publish a book, then what are you hoping?
You send it out for people to see.
And maybe get
Get
what?
money.
Yeah, there you go. So it was kind of sarcastic. It wasn't like her true purpose of sending her poetry out. Much of that was actually on the intention of her.
I think it's not about money.
Yeah.
It's about the social standards. Again, bring back to the context where these people came from the Elizabethan age when a girl presents to society. Normal times, they're expecting more than this being known by others. Actually, it's expecting what are the people
Returns.
courting, right? The young man going to come to say, "Hey, I wanted to get to know your daughter," courting her daughter.
And very often that can be a profit to the family.
Sure, of course.
Depending on who is married.
But in those days when people courting, they'll ask what the family and background look like, right? So, and in this case, the book is like a very shabby family stay. So the father said, "Oh, I don't know my daughter, and this is not my daughter." They said, so this is not me. I didn't write these things. And for the mother said, "Oh, we are poor. We basically don't pay much attention to my book, So she's just being humble, her own composition. So
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's a difficult poem the code, but I think Noah has done a good job for us. So you guys appreciate the poem? Okay. Let's look at the next one before we move on. So we might wrap up with the next one. Elijah, can you read it for us, the next one?
Before the birth of one of her children. All things within this fading world hath end. Adversity doth still our joys attend. No ties so strong, no fears so dear and sweet.
No friends.
So dear and sweet. But with death's parting blow is sure to meet the sentence passed of the most irrecoverable,
Irrevocable.
irrevocable.
What that means, you know, that word means it cannot be reversed, right? So, go ahead.
A common thing, yet inevitable. How soon, my dear, death may my steps attend. How soon may be thy lot to lose thy friend.
Thy loss means basically thy experience of life or destiny life, right? So, go ahead.
We both are ignorant, yet love bids me these farewell lines to recommend to thee. That when that knot's untied that made us one, I may seem thine, who in effect am none. And if I see not half my days that's due, what nature would, God grant yours and you. My many faults that we well you know I have.
I think the many faults.
Let be interred my oblivion's grave. If any worth or virtue were in me, let that live freshly in thy memory. Live freshly in thy memory. And when thou feelest no grief, as I no harms, yet love thy head.
The dead, sorry. The dead.
Thy dead, who long lay in thine arms. And when thy loss shall be repaid with gains, look to my little babes, my dear remains. And if thou love thyself or lovest me, these O protect from stepdame's injury. And if chance to thine eyes shall bring this verse, with some sad signs honor my absent hearse, and kiss this paper for thy love.
Paper? Okay.
Paper, yeah. Paper for thy love dear sake, who with salt tears this last farewell did take.
So what do you think this thing pointing to? Esther, and you know, guess what it say? The title said a little bit.
Yep.
But is it, let's see, is the child safe in the end, or the child may pass away?
Looks like it passed away.
No, I think she was actually talking more about her potential of dying during childbirth.
Okay, let's read again. Let's Noah read it for us and pose and explain to us.
All things within this fading world hath end. Adversity doth still our joys attend. No ties so strong, no friends so dear and sweet, but with death's parting blow is sure to meet. The sentence passed is most irrevocable. A common thing, yet inevitable. How soon, my dear, death may my steps attend. How soon may be thy lot to lose thy friend. We are both ignorant, yet love bids me these farewell lines to recommend to thee. That when that knot's untied that made us one, I may seem thine, who in effect am none. And if I see not half my days thus due, what nature would, God grant to yours and you. The many faults that well you know I have, let be interred in my oblivion's grave. If any worth or virtue were in me, let that live freshly in thy memory. And when thou feelest no grief, as I no harms, yet love thy dead who long lay in thine arms. And when thy loss shall be repaid with gains, look to my little babes, my dear remains. And if thou love thyself or lovest me, these, O protect from stepdame's injury. And if chance to thine eyes shall bring this verse, with some sad sighs honor my absent hearse, and kiss this paper for thy love's dear sake, who with salt tears this last farewell did take.
Wow, that's
She wrote this poem
beautiful, huh?
in fear of her death during childbirth to her husband.
That's
Yep.
perfect. That's the perfect understanding. Is that making sense to you, Esther, as you read this poem?
A little bit.
A little bit. It's hard one to understand. Is this making sense to you, Elijah?
Yep.
Okay. Naomi evidently didn't hear the word
Sorry.
well. It's okay. It's a perfect fine. So let's read the last one. Last
Yeah,
one
this
was
last
short
one.
one. Okay, who's going to read it for us? Esther going to take a lead in this one.
To my dear and loving husband,
Mm-hmm.
if ever two were one, then surely we. If ever man were loved by wife, then thee. If ever wife was happy in a man, compare with me, ye woman. Wait, what is?
Compare with me, ye woman, if you can.
Compare with me, ye woman, if you can. I prize thy love more than whole mines of gold, or all the riches that the east doth hold. My love is such that rivers cannot quench, nor aught but love from thee gives recompense. Is that it?
Recompense.
Recompense. Thy love is such I can no way repay. The heavens reward thee manifold, I pray. Then while we live in love, let's so persevere, that when we live no more, we may live ever.
That's beautiful. I'm going to read that one for you guys. Hopefully I'm good.
Where's your one?
I heard.
Oh,
I thought it was in my bag, but it wasn't on the right.
To my dear and loving husband, if ever two were one, then surely we. If ever man were loved by wife, then thee.
Hello.
If ever wife was happy in man,
How are you? Good, thank you.
compare with me,
Mask and I'll be right with
ye
you.
women,
Are you Renee?
if you can.
Yes. And you are?
I prize thy love more than whole mine's gold. All the riches that the east does hold. Here, why they see east? Naomi, why they see the east?
And a good contact telephone.
The capital east?
because it's a
504-248.
direction or like.
It is the direction and the
And
region,
then with the
but the
email
here
address,
represent
What regions do you think they're referring to?
remember
Any
Colombia,
historical
right?
knowledge?
Go to the east.
I know what you mean, like it's directed.
Like what countries would be involved with the eastern realms or the eastern?
Sounds good. We'll go ahead and I'll process her
Countries.
invoice we collect at the time of pickup. So it's just going to be $19.95 and then after tax, I think that comes out to like
Yeah.
$21.88 or something like that. And
Okay, shorter version
Is east
before.
like this way?
I'll give you a call as soon as it's ready.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of your
That I don't know.
Like in between, like
In the old days, hopefully not interfere with you, Elaine, but in the past old days, like Colombia, why they want to make a trip, going to voyage, to discover Iran, because they believe in the East, is the riches where it came from. That's where gold, the silver, so
Okay.
yeah. So that's a little bit of history here. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of common knowledge that she uses in
those days.
in
yeah.
this poem, actually.
Yeah, yeah,
Like to express their relationship or their bond.
yeah, yeah.
So you know how even the first line, I kind of like this. You know how even according to Christian, even in a biblical understanding, you know how it's very often said that when a man and woman are brought together in marriage or are married to one another, they become one flesh.
Yeah.
Well, she's saying if two were ever one, then surely we.
Yeah, that's
There you go. That's good expression.
Yeah.
huh? And she prized love more than money and gold. That's also a biblical expression, you know, God of wisdom, whatever. So, but anyway, then go on. My love is such that rivers cannot quench. It's like a thirsty land, right? So, no aught but love from thee give recompense. What that means, not what that one.
Nor aught but love from thee give recompense. So that means I have such a capacity for love that whole rivers with all its water could not quench it, would not quench the thirst I have for love. But your love, basically in that following line, your love that you give me as my husband is able to quench my love, my desire for love. Nor aught but love from thee give recompense. That makes sense?
Encompass basically give a reward, a prize, equal prize.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Yep.
Thy love such I can no we repay, the heavens reward, the manifold, I pray. Okay.
So may you be abundantly blessed and rewarded in life. That's my prayer for him.
Then while I will live in love, let's so persevere that when we live no more, we may live ever. Okay, Naomi, you read it for us. Wrap up this session.
If ever two were one, then surely we. If ever man were loved by wife, then me. If ever wife was happy in a man, compare with me, ye women, if you can. I prize thy love more than whole mines of gold, or all the riches that the east doth hold. My love is such that the rivers cannot quench, nor aught but love from thee give recompense. Thy love is such I can no way repay. The heavens reward thee manifold, I pray. Then while we live in love, let's so persevere, that when we live no more, we may live ever.
Okay, let's look at this sentence. The heaven reward thee manifold, I pray. Is the word reward there is a noun on a verb?
Where?
This one.
Good question.
Wait, say that again? Is it a noun or a
The
verb?
last. The last.
The word reward.
Yeah, the Lord
In that sentence.
word is a verb or a noun.
Is it a verb in that sentence or a noun in that sentence?
It can also be an adverb
Verb?
or an adjective.
He's asking, is it a verb or a noun in that sentence?
You don't know
I would
anything
say-
about verb?
I would say it's
I need to learn a little bit of English grammar. Yeah, explain verb to her a little bit. What a verb is.
A verb is a word that describes an action.
Yeah. What a noun is?
A noun
place,
is a
thing.
person, place, thing, or idea.
Ah, you gotta remember.
So you're
this.
saying, I don't know what word you're talking about.
Reward.
Oh.
The heavens reward the manifold, I pray. Okay, your answer.
Let's see here.
And let's not say if it's correct or not. Let's let everybody give their guess.
Noah's gonna be a wonderful teacher. He definitely can teach you.
That's only if they're actually learning something. Is that right?
Yeah. The problem is we don't listen to him.
There are options. So you said either a noun or a verb? Noun or a verb. I think
You think?
that it's a verb.
Okay, Elijah, Naomi,
I already said.
Elijah.
Sorry.
I'm gonna say it, man.
It is a verb.
Okay.
How's it a verb?
The heavens reward thee, manifold, I pray. So I want them to reward. I want them to do something.
But
I want
a reward
them
is
to
a
reward.
thing.
Yeah, it can
I
be
know,
a thing
but
also.
That's what actually. It's,
not asking-
It's interesting because in our
He didn't ask you, is reward a verb or a noun? He said, is in this sentence reward
because it can change.
a verb or a noun?
It is can change.
Because that's actually exactly what we're learning in our
Yeah.
language arts right now. They're really sticking on verbs, nouns, adjectives, and
Oh,
stuff.
great. Then
So-
do a dictionary search on reward. See what it look like. Okay, let me do my dictionary. I want to teach you how to learn. So, am I right? Can we do that? No. Okay.
Hey, have you heard of this app? Do you have this app? I think you'd like it.
Oh, what's up?
It's a really nice dictionary app. It's called Terminology.
Oh,
The black app that says
terminology. Oh, you got you, man. Yeah, complicated man.
No, this is just my writing.
Webster.
Yep,
Webster.
Terminology. It's a
because
really
it can be either a noun, it can be a noun and a verb, or a verb, but it just depends on how it's in the sentence and presented in that sentence. So,
I'm asking you a question.
Well, I thought it was just. I didn't know you were doing just in the sentence.
well, that's what he said. He said, "What is
The point is
word in
why
that
you
sentence?"
You have to listen.
I'm teasing you. Next time you're gonna forget your books?
Nope.
I think
need a modern history book.
you messed up our history books. That's what you did.
Who had it last?
What do you mean, Master?
You lost
Have
it.
it lost?